I believe that the secret to producing extremely drought-tolerant crops, which should go some way to providing food security in the world, lies in resurrection plants. Pictured here in an extremely droughted state. Now, you might think that these plants look dead, but they're not. Give them water, and they will resurrect, green up, start growing in 12 to 48 hours. Now, why would I suggest that producing drought-tolerant crops will go towards providing food security? Well, the current world population is around 7 billion, and it's estimated that by 2050 will be between 9 and 10 billion people, with the bulk of this growth happening in Africa. The Food and Agricultural Organization of the World have suggested that we need a 70% increase in current agricultural practice to meet that demand. Now, given that plants are at the base of the food chain, most of that's going to have to come from plants. Now, that percentage of 70% does not take into consideration the potential effects of climate change. This is taken from a study by Dye, published in 2011, where he took into consideration all the potential effects of climate change and expressed them, amongst other things, increased aridity due to lack of rain or infrequent rain. Now, the areas in red shown here are areas that until recently have been very successfully used for agriculture, but cannot anymore because of lack of rainfall. This is the situation that's predicted to happen in 2050. Much of Africa, in fact, much of the world, is going to be in trouble. We're going to have to think of some very smart ways of producing food, and preferably among them, some drought-tolerant crops. The other thing to remember about Africa is that the most of their agriculture is rain-fed. Now, making drought-tolerant crops is not the easiest thing in the world, and the reason for this is water. Water is essential to life on this planet. All living, actively metabolizing organisms, from microbes to you and I, are comprised predominantly of water. All life reactions happen in water, and loss of a small amount of water results in death. You and I are 65% water. We lose 1%. We still get images like this. Maize crop in Africa, 2 weeks without rain, and it's dead. Now, there is a solution. Resurrection plants. These plants can lose 95% of their cellular water, remain in the dry, dead-like state for months to years, and give them water, they green up and start growing again. Like seeds, these are desiccation tolerant. Like seeds, these can withstand extremes of environmental conditions. And this is a really rare phenomenon. There are only 135 flowering plant species that can do this. I'm going to show you a video of the resurrection process of these 3 species in that order. And at the bottom, there's a time axis, so you can see how quickly it happens. Pretty amazing, hey? So I've spent the last 21 years trying to understand how they do this. How do these plants dry without dying? And I work on a variety